What's lurking in the darkest, most remote parts of our planet's oceans? How can creatures survive thousands of meters below the surface, where light cannot reach and temperatures are freezing? With crushing pressures today, we dive deep into a world holding mystery, that of deep-sea creatures. It's here that life has evolved in the most unbelievable ways. From alien-like predators to animals with bioluminescent bodies, this is a world that seems to push the boundaries of what we could even fathom. Stay tuned as we delve into. Temperatures are just a few degrees above freezing, and pressure is extreme, roughly 1,000 times what we experience at sea level, yet life still manages. Some of the most remarkable adaptations to survival are found right here, in this abyss. Let's begin with one of the most iconic denizens of the deep, the anglerfish. With predatory teeth and that unearthly glow, this fish seems to have leapt directly out of a horror film. But deep in the ocean, it is a master predator. This anglerfish has a bioluminescent lure protruded from its head and attracts its prey with it. In this pitch-black environment, this glowing lure is irresistible to the small fish, swimming too close only to get snapped up by this anglerfish's massive jaws. But it is not just the bait that is amazing. The anglerfish has evolved to perform in utter darkness under pressure. Its teeth are transparent, reducing visibility even more. Its body, soft, flexible, is able to withstand the crushing pressure. The weird and wonderful creatures of the deep sea. Before looking at the deep sea animals themselves, let's take a little time out to understand the environment in which they exist. The ocean is divided into various zones, depending on how much sunlight breaks through the water. As we go deeper, it will be darker and colder. First 100 meters of the ocean are epipelagic, known as sunlight zone, is a place where life is in ample. Beyond this, at 200 meters or more, we enter into the more colloquial usage as the twilight zone. On reaching this stage, the amount of sunlight is very scarce. It becomes cold with a decline in temperature. The midnight zone is below 1,000 meters. It's pitch black of the deep ocean. Probably one of the most amazing adaptations that some organisms have evolved in the deep sea is the ability to produce light, or bioluminescence. In the absence of sunlight, many deep-sea animals have developed this tactic in order to attract prey, evade predators, or communicate with one another. Let's take the deep-sea jellyfish, for instance. Some would put up an incredible display of bioluminescence in defense. That would distract the predator from them as they escape. Others would use light to beckon prey toward them or to signal a mate. Light became a tool necessary for survival in the dark blackness of the deep ocean. And bioluminescence isn't just limited to fish and jellyfish. Even bacteria in the deep sea can glow, creating symbiotic relationships with larger creatures like the anglerfish. Through the ages, sailors reported stories of massive sea creatures, monsters that could drag the ships into the depths. Probably, one of the most famous of these mythical creatures is the giant squid. But it so happens that the giant squid does not turn out to be a myth, but just very real. Reaching up to 12 to 13 meters in length, the giant squid belongs to the biggest and most elusive deep-sea creatures. Its enormous eyes, among the largest in the animal kingdom, enable the giant squid to detect even the tiniest amount of light from the deep ocean. But the squid's long tentacles make it a very effective hunter. Lined with strong suckers with rings of razor-sharp teeth, these tentacles capture and hold on to prey. Once captured by a squid, an animal has little chance of escaping. Yet this gigantic squid, for all its size and muscular strength, largely remains an enigma. It is just so difficult to study. Most of what is known about it has come from dead specimens that have washed up on shores or get captured in fishing nets. However, with the advancement in technology, we are slowly able to unravel some secrets about this deep-sea giant. Next, let's meet one of the most bizarre creatures of the deep sea, the giant isopod. These oversized relatives of the common pill bug reach lengths up to 30 centimeters, and spend their lives scavenging the ocean floor for dead animals that sink to the bottom. Food is scarce in the deep ocean. When a dead whale or fish makes it to the bottom, it can be like a festival for scavengers such as this giant isopod. The giant isopod is truly the survivor of the abyss, with its low metabolism and ability to live long periods without food. Then there is the Dumbo octopus, probably one of the cutest deep-sea animals. Its name refers to large ear-like fins that give it a resemblance to a cartoon Disney character. It is a gracious swimmer, somewhat ballet-like, with fins used as a propulsion means. The Dumbo octopus is one of the deepest-dwelling octopuses that have ever been recorded, living at depths of 3,000 to 4,000 meters. It feeds upon small invertebrates and, just like many other deep-sea animals, has adapted to life in a zone where food supplies are scarce and survival is hard. Few animals are quite as visually spectacular as the gulper eel. This deep-sea predator is perfectly suited with a huge, gaping mouth that could swallow a prey much larger than itself. Its long, whip-like tail glows in the dark, perfectly alluring unsuspecting prey. But here is the thing. The gulper eel doesn't only use that huge mouth to feed. It utilizes a variety of bioluminescence at the end of its tail to attract prey, much like the anglerfish. This hunting technique is critical in the deep sea, where food is scarce and predators need to be opportunistic. Next to that comes the legendary Yeti crab, a monster discovered only in 2005 near the hydrothermal vents in the Pacific. Its hair-fringed claws look bizarre but serve an extremely important purpose: farming bacteria for food. Inhabitants of one of Earth's most inhospitable environments, where toxic chemicals seep from the ocean floor, the Yeti crab has found a way to turn those extreme conditions to its advantage. The bacteria that grow on its claws provide a steady source of nutrients, making this creature a literal farmer of the deep. Notwithstanding the sinister name, the vampire squid is not some blood-sucking monster but a survivor. Living in oxygen-deprived zones where hardly any other creature can survive, the vampire squid has learned to adapt itself to one of the most inhospitable environments in the ocean. Unlike most deep predators, the vampire squid doesn't hunt. Instead, it subsists on scavenging marine snow, small particles of decaying matter that drift down from above. Its gelatinous body and large eyes help it thrive in the dark, making it one of the most resilient deep creatures. Giant isopods are the cleanup crew of the deep ocean. These armored scavengers can grow to the size of a football, and they feast on anything that falls to the ocean floor, whether it's fish, squid, or even the remains of a whale. Being slow metabolizers, some only have to eat once every few months, while others can live in environments where food is a rare and valuable commodity. In this regard, deep-sea creatures like the giant isopod act as a reminder of how powerful adaptation can be to an unyielding world. The deep sea is one of the last, if not the last, unexplored frontier on Earth. Every year, scientists discover new species that show how amazing life diversity can be in the ocean's depth. From giant tube worms near hydrothermal vents to translucent octopuses, it is just a vault of discoveries that wait to be unlocked. But for every creature we have uncovered, there are dozens more waiting to be discovered. The deep ocean is a pretty good secretary, and who knows what other weird and wonderful creatures are waiting in its dark, mysterious waters. From the fearsome anglerfish to the gracious Dumbo octopus, the deep sea is teeming with animals that break all of our expectations and push to new limits what life can endure. It is a world where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and each dive reveals new wonders.